Hey y'all, it's Tuesday the 24th of March. Got a little bit more done today. All the welding's done on that rear assembly. It's bolted in place. We went ahead and saw cut it and put a little torsion clamp on it. I like that particular one. I got four of them with the Emmett Kart, right? Two of them to hold those big torsion bars on, which were the ones I used on this torsion bar on the back to get it set. They say Emmett right on them. These say Coyote. The reason I like this one is you can see it's offset, right? So very low profile on the bottom, not a whole big old chunk of it hanging down below the bottom of the frame. There it is. It's all the wet cassettes there. We got the caliper we're going to use. We have red ones for the front as well. It's all used stuff, but it's all in good shape. So we're gonna put it to good use. Just got to get that bit over there. It's all lined up. I had the digital angle finder on here, zeroed out the axle, set it on, tuned that all in, made sure it was up against the chassis real good. We're real close to getting on some welds here underneath. So it is sitting right where it should. Let me grab the other piece here. And we still got to round the ends off yet, for here, but it's about the same spot, half a hair here and there really isn't going to make a big difference, right? So we'll get all that tacked together. We ran out of wire the other day and found, of course, today being the 24th, last night at midnight or whatever, state of Michigan went into this whole stay-at-home thing. Some people call it lockdown. Some people call it whatever. But you can obviously still get around. I went to the air gas store. First, I called, and they are one of the businesses that's allowed to stay open because they supply liquid nitrogen to obviously to hospitals and clinics and stuff. So that's important. So all the welding guys were there in the party. They says, could just come on up to the parking lot. Call us when you get to the parking lot. Tell us what you need. If you have to, if you brought an empty or whatever, a bottle of gas, or in my case, an empty wire spool, just leave it. They'll come out and pick it up. They go back inside to check it out. They call you back, ask you, how many, whatever. And then they ask you your credit card number, and they run it through, and the guy puts it outside the door with your receipt. Bing, bang, boom, off you go. So, yeah, cool. The welding supply shop is good to go. And the welder actually runs better. I had that Harbor Freight wire in there. Remember when I was working on a trailer in there? I ran out of wire then and needed it. It was Saturday or Sunday, and the air gas store was closed. So we went to Harbor Freight. And I'm not going to blame it on the wire. It's a Harbor Freight welder, for God's sake. I think what happened is I had the tension on those wheels too tight, and like I said, it would pulse. Now it runs great, man. I got to retune the whole welder all over again, so it's not tripping over itself. But that's a good thing, right? So we'll get to tacking and welding this stuff on. It's late. My back's killing me, man. I'm sore. I've been out here, a good part of the day today and got everything squared away and up and running. So that's where we're at. We still haven't put any slots in the motor mount plate, and it's not welded on yet. Just wanted to get everything back on and get it in place so you can see what's going on. We still haven't got the tabs on here yet. Baby steps at this point, right? I think what we're going to do is weld a tab straight off the back of the chassis here, and then we're going to put turnbuckle here, right? A little tie rod end, right and left hand, so we can turn it. And just not that this is a big, heavy, fast go-kart, but I'm sorry, that's how I do things, Bob. Sorry, this is what you signed up for when Puff Daddy decided to build the newest rocket ship for the garage. That's all there is to it. And we'll do the same thing here. So there will be tabs here. If we run a two-stroke, that tab isn't going to cause any issues, and we can, just take everything from one side to the other. Bing, bang, boom. I love it. I love the idea of having everything symmetrical side to side. It doesn't get any better than this. This is going to be the most universal go-kart at the racetrack, if nothing else. And you know what? I got a feeling it's going to be so much fun to drive. I'm sure it's going to be fun. My brother Rich is going to have a good. Rich, hey, what's up, Richie? He got laid off for 3 weeks. Yesterday when he left work was his last day for 3 weeks. So Richie will be over here hanging out. We'll get him on some video over here, eh? But he'll have fun driving this thing. We're gonna have fun putting sprint kart guys in this lay down go-kart and letting them take some laps in it, and we'll get it all on video. Their faces, which is the same thing we did with the old shifter kart, the old T-car that we used to have, that red one there in the picture. It had a dirt bike motor on it, and we just let sit-up CIK shifter kart guys drive it in practice. And it was very interesting, too. Back in those days, we were still on VHS cameras or little Mini 8 or whatever, right? I mean, we didn't have miniature little GoPros like we do now. And some of the guys would go out and come right back in and say, "You're nuts, I can't see where I'm going." Other guys would run the whole practice session, you know? And then ask if they could drive it again. They had a good time. A lot of those guys, their wife would come down and grab them by the ear and say, "You're out of your mind. You're not going to buy one of those death traps. Get out of here." You know, and they give us a dirty look like, you know, "What are you doing polluting my old man? It's bad enough he's got enough toys as it is." But we're going to bring you all that. The reaction of people that have never laid flat down in a go-kart driving it. And with the motor on the back, it's gonna be kind of weird. I'm used to an engine just singing away right next to me, you know. Then again, this one thumps. It doesn't sing, so it sings a different tune, so to speak. But that's it for the 24th. On Tuesday, we're sneaking up on her. We actually have an extra 2 weeks. Called Sam at the racetrack, and he offered us the last weekend in April because the Audi car club rescheduled for October because they're not confident this thing was going to take place. So we snuck in. We moved from 11/12, which is Easter weekend, to 25th, 26th, which is the last weekend in April. Buys us an extra 2 weeks. And they're saying, like the air gas guy said, this thing is 3 weeks, and people they're gonna have to be able to travel and go back to work. Or not only does the U.S. economy crash, the world's economy is gonna crash. So we can't have that, obviously. So, you know, we got to get back to the racetrack, bro. So there it is. That's the update for now. She's coming along. We're gonna have to call Paul Martin and get some seals for all this stuff, new seals. These are new, so we ain't got to do nothing there. Get a couple brake mounts for the front to get all that stuff, and then it's just brake lines and fittings, and you know, getting us a steel axle and that aluminum we're just using for mocking up and setting up, and you know, at that point, get a fuel tank on it. Big Daddy can take it around the block. God bless y'all. Godspeed. We're praying for you. Have a good one.